buses to come and pick up the dogs, and all the dogs are going to different experienced rescue partners all over the United States. And there was this one grassroots company. It's called Pilots to the Rescue, and this is an organization that flies dogs where they need to go, and it's a volunteer organization. And the pilot, his name is August Lim. He flew a number of these dogs. I think they were able to fit 16 of these beagles into his airplane. You know, it's one of those little small airplanes. And he flew it to New Jersey. So the dogs flew to New Jersey, and they were being distributed again to experienced rescue partners in New Jersey, New York, and Virginia. So the dogs are going to be scattered all over the United States. Also, Dane County Humane Society, they got a whole bunch of the beagles. And all the beagles are really, they need to be, you know, vetted, looked over by the vet, make sure that they're healthy, make sure that they have all their shots and all of that. And they're going to be microchipped. And there's a lot of rescue organizations stepping up to take these dogs. So I'm just so grateful, and I'm really just so excited that this happened. And I don't know for sure, but I'm hearing rumors, and I'll let you know when and if it is true that Ridglan Farms is finally going to shut down. There was a house on the property that was recently sold, so that's exciting. So if you're excited and you want to adopt one of these beagles, you could fill out an adoption form at B like boy, D like David, rr.org/adopt. So you could check that out. And if you're interested, and just know that these dogs need a lot of extra attention. They've never been outside or walked on grass. This is like their first time ever exploring and smelling all the smells. You know, they were kept in an indoor facility in, small cages. So they're really, excited. I think that they're really scared because they don't know what's happening. But I think that the videos that I have that I've posted on my Facebook page are just so heartwarming. Just watching them run around and smell the grass and, play with each other and like look up at the sky and be outside in the fresh air. It's really something else. So I'm really excited. So there was one dog. I don't know how old it was. I always call dogs puppy. I call Wanda, our 15-year-old or 18-year-old. We don't know. I call her a puppy. But anyway, on March 15th, about 100 rescuers went to Ridglan Farms and actually broke in and were able to get some dogs out. One of the dogs, the inside of their ears are, I don't know if they're tattooed or they're branded, but they have a mark in their ear, and this dog had YPP5. That's what the dog was known as, YPP5. The dog was named James, and Wayne Shung, who is the organizer of the rescue that we went to try to get the dogs out from, he's getting this dog. Like, this is going to be his dog, and the dog is going to live with him and his wife, and they have another dog named Oliver. So James will have a little brother. So that's really exciting, and I'm really glad that Wayne, he got the dog out of the building and handed it to one of the other rescuers and just said, please keep the dog safe. And he's able to get this dog now. So YPP5 is now James, and I'm really excited about it.
Awesome. Hey, we're going to have more news with Wendy in the next segment. This is Native Roots Radio, and we love talking about our sacred beings, don't we?
We sure do.
Stay with us.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas offers an affordable 2-year associate degree with a seamless path to a bachelor's. Located in downtown Minneapolis, students receive free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaching, tutoring, a Metro Transit pass, mentorship, and paid internships, all at Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College. Your journey to success starts here.
This is Chase Iron Eyes announcing a new show on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota, powered by Native Roots Radio. The show is called Native American Patriot Talk Radio. What will we do on the show? We are going to explore and dive into the source of American constitutional sovereignty, the intersection of Native American and legal issues. Find us the first and third Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. on AM 950.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
There's a powerful story being shared at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. Unchi Said So, a solo exhibition by Danielle Seawalker, brings forward Native stories shaped by collective identity, generational knowledge, and teachings passed down through community. Through bold color and portraiture, this work honors the significance of grandmothers in Native culture while reflecting the idea that sovereignty begins at home. On view now through June 6th. Plan your visit today at allmyrelationsarts.org.
I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and I want to be your next United States Senator, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert Pilot, and this is Native Roots Radio, and we're with Wendy. On the top of the show here, Wendy, you always get a lot of good feedback, and people out all over the community always, I think they'd rather have you on than me, but here you are, and it's great to have you as always.
Yeah, thanks, Robert. I really appreciate it. So, Ridglan Farms was just one of these research and breeding facilities that we, protested on, and we caused such a ruckus that it caused such public outcry that the dogs are being released. And this is not the only facility in the United States. There are others. And there's one, I believe, in New York. I don't know the name of it or exactly where it is or what, but they're on the list. They're on the list that, I might be flying there and, or driving or either way, you know what? I just feel like it needs to be done. I'm a person, and I could stand up for the rights of the voiceless, and that's what I want to do. That's what I feel like doing,
Well, it's interesting too, when I just got to talk to our audience for a second. It's interesting that I was listening to the Stephanie Miller show today, and she has a minister on, and he was saying that we need to pick, because it's just such an overwhelming everything going at us every day. It's something we need to pick, something like you have and do. And our listeners need to do too, is pick one thing and really go for it.
Yeah. I mean, there is so many things, the Supreme Court took away the abortion pill. Now they put it back on. And it's just like, I mean, again, like you said, there's like a million things that, you could, pick whatever you're passionate about and go for it. And I agree with that 100%. Pick something and go for it, That's it. That's all you have to do. Just put some time into it, write letters to your legislators, go to the Capitol, walk in there and speak to your legislator. If you can't do that, write an email or leave some voicemails. It's, that takes just a few minutes. Yeah. So there's so many ways that you could get involved. You could donate money. I know all these organizations right now, or all these rescues all over the United States, who are stepping up and taking these 1,500 dogs, and hopefully there's like 500 dogs left, and they're negotiating how to get those dogs out. That's a lot of dogs. So like the Dane County Humane Society, they're taking a whole bunch of these beagles in, but they need room in their shelter. So if you feel it in your heart, go to the Dane County Humane Society and adopt one of the dogs that are there already, right? Make some room for the beagles that are coming in. So, and also donate money if you can, I told this story the other day that I was heartbroken the day that we tried to rescue the dogs, and we were confronted by the Dane County Sheriff's Department and Ridglan's security that they paid for, and we were met with tear gas and rubber bullets and flashbangs and tear gas, and it was horrific. I've never experienced anything like that in my life ever. It was close to Standing Rock where we did that, although we did not get tear gassed.
No,
there,
but
or
many people did
Yes.
the weeks that we weren't there.
Absolutely.
And
And took rubber bullets and got hurt and were injured. So, I mean, I'm just so happy that, Wayne Shung, he organized this whole group of us to go there and to make good trouble and to try and rescue the dogs. We didn't get any dogs. So afterwards, I mean, I was just crying like the whole night that we weren't able to get any dogs out. And I just was just devastated when I woke up the next day and I saw all these supplies that I had in the hotel room that I planned on using for the beagles, and it was just funny that I just Googled the nearest rescue organization close to where I was at the hotel, and they said the first one was all cat rescue, but then it said the next one was the Dane County Humane Society, and I just called them up, and they were like, "Yeah, we would love to have all those supplies." So, funny. I brought all the supplies there, and now hopefully the beagles that they're going to get are going to actually use the supplies.
That is so awesome.
That
is really so awesome.
When I think Thursday was the day that we first got word that the dogs were getting out and the first rescue trucks were going. And oh my God, I was just so thrilled and so happy. And I've been on cloud 9 actually ever since. And I know that there's a lot of other bad news, and there's still dogs and all kinds of animals locked up in these horrific institutions that the federal government and our tax dollars just support. And I really feel like we're taking a turn. I really feel like this is like the beginning of something really, really big, where it's just gonna be a snowball effect. And I'm really hoping this, and I might be too optimistic, but I have to stay optimistic because, we just read so much that there's so many strong reasons and ethical reasons and scientific reasons why we need to stop testing and doing research on these poor sentient beings.
No doubt.
I mean, they're born into this world and they're thrown into a cage and then they're experimented on. I mean, it's like a living hell that they're living in.
The joy that I saw from these beagles being released from the Wisconsin place of hell was just beautiful, and we got to keep it going. And it's funny that did you mention how big that place was in New York? Upstate, the other place
there's
that's
another
similar
place that has thousands of dogs. Again, most all beagles. These little beagles are the sweetest breed, and that's why they're experimented on. They don't have like that bite reflex that most other breeds do. I mean, even my little Wanda, if I tug on her ear a little bit or go to
Yeah.
trim it, she kind of opens her mouth to go. She doesn't bite me, but she kind of gives me a little warning, like, "Arr," like she's gonna give it to me. But beagles don't do that. Like, you could
No.
do anything you want to them and they're just gonna be submissive
Yeah.
and they're gonna be sweet and they're loyal. So yeah, so we need to get these animals out. We could grow all kinds of organs and tissues from our bodies in petri dishes now and do the testing on that. Most of the animal testing that they do, like on drugs and other things, don't even transfer to the humans. When it comes to those clinical trials, it's we're not really learning that much. So we really need to,
I know. Now
we
with
need to get over this.
so many different ways of doing it, it just
Mhm.
seems like so
Yeah.
so unnecessary.
Yeah. The
And
animal results that they get from the testing does not translate to humans most of the time at all.
didn't some of those things like be for perfume or makeup and all that
All that
testing
stuff.
weird? It's just
Yeah.
like
So
shooting stuff up their nose
Yep.
and
Yep. It's
seeing if
just
they
horrible.
gag.
Yeah. I mean, cosmetic testing is another thing. It's not the biomedical is the most widely used. So like detergents, pesticides, all kinds of chemicals that we use are tested on these animals. But listen, you could simply get it's called what's that app that I have? Cruelty Cutter. Cruelty Cutter. It's a free app. Cruelty Cutter. Get it on your phone, your iPhone or your Android. It's an app. When you go into the drugstore and you want to buy mascara or shampoo or hairspray or any cosmetics, you could scan the barcode and it'll tell you whether this product has been tested on an animal or not. And then it'll give you an alternative product that you can buy that's not tested, right? That has the happy bunny, hopping bunny that's certified cruelty free. So Cruelty Cutter, it's on my phone.
That's
I use
awesome.
it often.
Yeah.
But I mean, by this time I kind of know which stuff is tested on animals or not. But I mean, I do my very best not to buy any products that are tested on animals.
Such a great update, Wendy, and there's more to come, and there's
Yeah.
more issues out there. But
Mhm.
I'm calling this a big win.
It is a big win. Yep. Thank you.
So I'm just like flabbergasted to see
Mhm.
all this come across my social media, and that how many people that you talk to or we talk to that just cannot believe that this is happening.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Yep.
good on you and good on everyone that's there and good on
Yes.
the human race for realizing this is not a thing we want to do with our relatives.
That's right. Thank you.
Hey, we got rest of the show here, Wendy. I'm used to you being on last here. So, hey, we got Kristie GoForth for Bikes for Kids in Wisconsin, and we're going to be right back after this short break.
Stay with us.
Oh! More than just sobriety, it's reclaiming Indigenous masculinity as a sacred, balanced force. Join Hunter Thundercloud for Native Roots Radio presents Controlled Fire. We explore how personal recovery uplifts our communities. It's time men step back into roles as mentors and spiritual leaders. Recovery is collective, and it starts with us. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of every month at 6 p.m. for Native Roots Radio presents Controlled Fire. Let's tend the fire together.
Unwanted sexting or photos, inappropriate jokes, even tickling or wrestling can feel like a violation. Catcalling, cornering, or groping, getting them drunk or high for sex, recording sexual acts without permission, hurting someone because of their sexual orientation, raping a family member, a child, a date, a friend, a stranger, purchasing a human being for sex. You make the choice every single time. Sexual violence is many things. Make a choice. Do not do it.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Hey, it's Robert Pilot from Native Roots Radio. For a meal that feeds your soul and health, check out Gatherings Cafe. Located in the renovative Minneapolis American Indian Center, Executive Chef Vernon Defoe and team serve up incredible indigenous flavors. Gatherings Cafe has amazing bison tacos featuring lean protein from native wise, corn tortillas, and homemade sides. It's fresh, local food rooted in ancestral knowledge. Stop by for breakfast or lunch. That's Gatherings Cafe, where tradition meets innovation.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas offers an affordable 2-year associate degree with a seamless path to a bachelor's. Located in downtown Minneapolis, students receive free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaching, tutoring, a Metro Transit pass, mentorship, and paid internships, all at Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College. Your journey to success starts here.
This is Chase Iron Eyes announcing a new show on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota, powered by Native Roots Radio. The show is called Native American Patriot Talk Radio. What will we do on the show? We are going to explore and dive into the source of American constitutional sovereignty, the intersection of Native American and legal issues. Find us the first and third Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. on AM 950.
Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Did you know that the Walker has a cinema that shows film almost every week? From artist talks, genre-defined performances, and world premieres to archival shorts and experimental soundscapes, the Walker Cinema explores all modes of global and local filmmaking. Visit walkerart.org/cinema to learn more. That's walkerart.org/cinema. See you at the movies.
With your AM 950 weather, this is Adam. It was 62 under cloudy skies today. Tonight, 36, and the clouds continue into tomorrow with a high of 49 and a low tomorrow of 34. The Great Wall Restaurant, specializing in Szechuan and Peking Mandarin cuisine, has menu favorites like pan-fried dumplings, sesame chicken, hot and sour soup, beef and broccoli, and so much more. For takeout, call 952-927-4439 or see their whole menu at greatwallrestaurant.us.
AM 950 KTNF, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert Pilot, and this is Native Roots Radio. Hey, we have our friend Kristie GoForth from Bikes for Kids in Wisconsin. And geez, really good to see you. And boy, I can't believe it's been a long time here having you on, but I just want to amplify your great work and how people can support you. So it's always really great to see you.
Bushu Niji, so nice to see you. Nice to be back. It's been too long. I haven't seen you around, so we've probably both been working too much.
Yeah, definitely. So let's get a little update here. What's happening? It looks like you have a big inventory in the background.
What is wrong with us? We're just, it's not bike crazy. We're bike sane, right? Everybody benefits when more people are biking. We just got through our bike giveaway event, which we now have distributed 15,500 bicycles throughout Wisconsin. And so, but we're getting ready. Like, spring is our very busy season. So we're getting ready here for this big annual sale that we do, the Everything Bike Sale. And that's this Saturday, May 9th from 10 to 3 p.m. So if you're in the Madison area, or even if you're like an hour away, I would make time to drive here and check it out. We've got the biggest sale in the state. So of used bikes, that is.
Let's talk a little bit about your organization. So for people that are just tuning in for the first time with you on, and talk a little bit about it. I'm amazed at the reach that you have to give out these bikes. You talk to tribes, you talk to all these people that need it. And I just have to say too, Wendy, you can jump in. We love Madison, by the way.
Yeah, we do love Madison.
I loved Wendy's conversation about the beagles. So thanks for all your work on that, Wendy.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's still a ways to go, but I appreciate you being on the front lines. Yeah, so I run the Bikes for Kids Wisconsin organization. It's a 501c3 nonprofit, and we're located here in Madison, Wisconsin, but we do serve all areas of the state. And we have our flagship program, which is the Bike Giveaway Program, which is the one I just mentioned, where we've now surpassed 15,500 bikes distributed throughout Wisconsin. So all of the bikes are donated. So all this you see behind me, we don't buy any bikes. They're all donated. And so there's a huge sustainability component in that. Like you can buy a used bike that is fantastic. You don't have to buy a new bike. Some of these bikes, when they have really good bones and they're just high quality bikes, we can keep them on the road for up to 40 years. So you really minimizing your carbon footprint and just the energy needs of building new bikes and making new bikes. So that's a big part of our work. But we also teach middle school youth to be bike mechanics so they can become a resource to their families and friends and their neighborhoods and maybe spark an entrepreneurial dream. And we're getting ready to kick off a new program called Meals on Two Wheels, where we think of bikes not so much as recreational, but as transportation. And one of the big gaps in food pantries and accessing food is the transportation to get there. So we're launching this program on June 2nd, where we're going to be using e-cargo bikes and trailers, and we're partnering with our local food pantry, and we bike over there, we load up, and then we go to say 4 or 8 households and deliver groceries every other week. See how many people we're serving, but it's going to be, roughly each route can be up to 320 pounds of food delivered in one route. So bikes are amazing. We believe that they can solve a lot of the world's problems and build healthier communities for people, even if they're not biking.
That's awesome. And can you let our listening audience and people watching us on YouTube and Facebook and Blue Sky, how they can find more information and how they could possibly donate to your organization?
Yes. Thanks for asking. Bikesforkidswi.org. So that's bikesforkidswi.org is our website. We're very active on the socials as well, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So you can find us there. Lots of ways to be involved if you want to. You can, of course, donate bikes, but we have a really robust volunteer network of over 250 people helping us do this work. We're a really unusual nonprofit in that we provide services, but we also provide this high value transportation tool that can provide a long-term solution for many things, getting to school, getting to work, accessing community resources. And so it's interesting too, because, bike mechanics, we're in the trades. And so you just don't see a lot of nonprofits like that. And it's pretty interesting work, but it's hard work. Tough work. Just don't. Okay.
One of the things we talked about, I believe last time, was that you have a place where people have donated really cool bikes that you are selling separately. And I know we named a couple of them. I had that old Schwinn back in the 50s that we had when I was a kid that my deceased brother won in a fishing contest. And then we also have the 70 Stingray that I would really be up to riding.
Oh my gosh, we have such a collection of collector bikes, and probably right now, I don't know if I mentioned last time, it's still here. I think I had it when I was here last. It's a 1939 Swedish bicycle made in Stockholm, called the North Star. And it's just absolutely beautiful, like all these architectural details. And it's got the original leather box toolkit that slides into a little glove box on the tail. And so it's something else. But we have every classic Schwinn you could imagine.
And where can people find those bikes that are set for sale?
Yeah, so they can come right here to our shop. So we're open Monday through Saturday. The hours are on the website, so bikesforkidswi.org. And we're open all summer and through October. It will be here on Saturdays. But so we provide, in order to fund this program, it's very costly work. You know, if you think of one bicycle, it might be donated, but they're mostly broken, and that's why people donate. They're like, oh, I'm not riding it anymore. I don't want to spend $300 to get it fixed. I'll take it to Bikes for Kids. So then we have to buy the tires, like, you know, what we're talking, one tire, one tube, you know, $30-$40. So it gets really becomes costly, you know, on this scale. So this year we'll be giving away just over 1,400 bicycles. We just topped our 1,200 bike distributed. So we'll keep giving those out as people come in with transportation crises. But yeah, they can come here. So we sell bikes and we offer repairs for the public to support the program, basically.
So we talk over the years of how you've reached out to the tribes in Wisconsin. Can you have any updates on that?
Yeah. This year we had a new tribe come in. We served the Oneida Nation. And so that was really great. They brought a van down because that's up in the Green Bay area and we're in Madison. So they brought a van down and those bikes were going to like a daycare, a preschool program. So really getting started, and it's just so key that we get little kids on bikes. 3 years old is not too early to learn to ride on two wheels. It really isn't. Both my kids learned at 3. It's, so start them young. The younger the better. And so that was really great. And then we worked with the Great Lakes Intertribal Council and a bunch of our sisters up there. So shout out to both of those organizations, and thanks for your partnership.
Well, Wendy and I have your mic unmuted. We have our grandchildren that are 2 years old, and I think we've talked about this. No training wheels, right?
Yes, good memory. Yeah, you're better off taking the pedals off. So you can just unscrew the pedals, take them off, and turn that into a balance bike, or start with a balance bike. You can buy a balance bike. I've got a few here sitting around me, but just a bike with no pedals. And really, we can convert, any bicycle, you can unscrew the pedals, and we'll do that. It's a great way for adults to learn, even though it does get much harder to learn as an adult. But that's the way. We're taking away from the problem instead of adding training wheels and complicating it even further. And then once that little can keep their feet up off the ground for 3 to 5 seconds, they're really getting close to putting those pedals on, because then they have everything down. They just got to learn how to pedal and get that going.
One of the things too, and Wendy, I'm going to add you on here. One of the things too, I noticed that people don't have their seats in the proper, they have them too low. And I see that all the time.
Yes. It's not easy being me in that situation, because I see people in my car, your seat is too low. And, we get a lot of people that just, they come to us and they're like, I've just have never liked biking. And what we find is because the bicycle didn't fit them properly and it was uncomfortable wearing the wrong size shoes. And so really a lot of it is just raising the seat, lowering the seat, and really knowing like where your foot position should be on the ground. So if you're listening out there and you're a pretty confident rider, when you're sitting on your saddle, it should just be your toes that are touching the ground. You don't want your knees completely bent and flat. You're losing a lot of your leverage for pedaling, and it's going to be just a lot harder. So you want to be up a little higher, use gravity to your best advantage, and really take your bike to a bike shop and say, hey, can you check out my fit? And it's usually a pretty minimal correction that can make a bike feel better, or you just need a totally different bike. Sometimes it's just the geometry isn't great for our body size. Like I'm a short torsoed person, so there are certain models that work better for me because I'm not as stretched out. So it's just a matter of test driving and riding and trying different brands and getting a feel for something and working with a professional that can help you find the right fit.
I brought Wendy back on just because Wendy makes these great earrings out of inner tubes that we recycle.
The inner tube of a bicycle, and I make feather earrings from them. So if you have old inner tubes, I'll take them. Also, as you were talking, I was really thinking about my childhood in the 1970s, and I remember my blue
60s.
Schwinn. Well, I think it was early 70s that I was like 10 years old, late 60s, early 70s. I had my banana seat bike with what do you call those handlebars that come up?
You know.
And I would ride that bike all over the place. Yeah. That was like my bike.
Yeah. We on any given day we probably have 500 inner tubes here that cannot be used. So
I don't need that many, maybe just 10.
Next time Wendy's down in Madison with a Beagle
rescue
we'll come down and get them. But yeah, and it's really fun to repurpose things like that, and all about that, Kristie, because of what you're doing.
Yeah, we have people coming by all the time. We have a crew of people. Ken Whitehorse, I'll give a shout out to Ken Whitehorse, Ho Chunk brother, who comes and uses them as bungee cords, and he's big into safety. He needs them for all this stuff he's doing over there. And so, if you need some kind of bungee cord, just stretchy straps, guys, come on over. We'll help you out. We love to refine homes for this stuff. It doesn't necessarily have to go to the landfill.
Hey, right on. Let's take a quick break. This is Native Roots Radio. We're with Kristie GoForth, Bikes for Kids in Wisconsin. We'll be right back.
Stay with us.
Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Did you know that the Walker has a cinema that shows film almost every week? From artist talks, genre-defined performances, and world premieres to archival shorts and experimental soundscapes, the Walker Cinema explores all modes of global and local filmmaking. Visit walkerart.org/cinema to learn more. That's walkerart.org/cinema. See you at the movies. Oh, this is Robert Pilot. For Native relatives, healing is more than just sobriety. It's reclaiming Indigenous masculinity as a sacred, balanced force. Join Hunter Thundercloud for Native Roots Radio presents Controlled Fire. We explore how personal recovery uplifts our communities. It's time men step back into roles as mentors and spiritual leaders. Recovery is collective, and it starts with us. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of every month at 6 p.m. for Native Roots Radio presents Controlled Fire. Let's tend the fire together. Hey, it's Robert Pilot from Native Roots Radio. For a meal that feeds your soul and health, check out Gatherings Cafe. Located in the renovative Minneapolis American Indian Center, Executive Chef Vernon Defoe and team serve up incredible indigenous flavors. Gatherings Cafe has amazing bison tacos featuring lean protein from native wise, corn tortillas, and homemade sides. It's fresh, local food rooted in ancestral knowledge. Stop by for breakfast or lunch. That's Gatherings Cafe, where tradition meets innovation.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis Air. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis Air dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Hi, it's Dr. Evan Adams, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio. Hey, Victor, you better be listening.
In this portion of the show, we'd like to bring awareness to our wolf and bear populations throughout Turtle Island. Say no to the hunts.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Native Roots Radio, and Wendy and I have one of my favorite guests, Kristie GoForth from Bikes for Kids in Wisconsin, and it's just a great story. And then also just talking about bikes, Wendy, it just brings me back as being a young little Bobby.
Yeah.
Riding my bike everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
You know where I drove my bike.
Yeah.
I went to Long Beach.
That's right.
From Oceanside.
Yeah, definitely. I just went to all the lakes in Minneapolis from St. Paul.
Good memories.
Yes, definitely. And it's just great because bikes do have memories, and you have memories with bikes. So, I mean, as a rider.
I know a couple of scars I have on my body from my bike.
And I think of all these bikes behind me, and I'll talk about that. Like when all these bikes are donated, they come in with stories, and people
Yeah.
tell stories. And it's everything from kids growing out of bikes to people passing away. And and then we refurbish them, and then they roll out, and they get to start writing a new story. It's really cool. We feel a little like they have souls. You both talked about the nostalgia with your bikes when you were young, and I have bikes that I'm just so connected to. And yeah, it's they're so healthy. It's such a great tool of therapy. Like right now, these are really hard times. I mean, it's hard to be on social media because it's just inundated with so much just unbelievable, the things that are happening. Like if we think about the beagles here with Ridglan Farms, and so my bicycle, the therapy it provides for me is I take advantage of the wind therapy, and so I'll be on my bicycle, and I carry all my stress in my shoulders and my neck, and so I just picture, and it's a moving meditation for me, and I just picture the wind, and it feels almost like plaster coming off my shoulders. I picture it crashing onto the asphalt behind me, and you will see me. I'll be riding no-handed, and I'll be smiling ear to ear by myself, and that's because I'm taking advantage of this therapy, and I'm starting to feel 100 pounds lighter because the wind has taken all of that off my shoulders.
I got a weird question, and Wendy, you can chime in too. Everyone wears helmets now, and
Yeah.
when I was a kid, no one did. Was that a hard transition for you?
Yeah, it is, and I do struggle. I mean, I love riding without a helmet. I mean, I shouldn't be saying that here on national radio, but I just grew up without wearing helmets. Like it was never a thing, right? It was not until I started really riding in downtown Madison in a very urban environment with lots of cars, and that's when I started wearing a helmet. Um, and really, it's challenging. Helmets are very much designed for people with thin, non-textured hair. And so for our Black sisters and brothers, they often just don't fit, especially if you wear any ornamentation like beads or braids. So that's a real challenge. They're obviously not being considered by manufacturers, and so it's something we talk a lot about. That needs to be addressed, and they need to be redesigned for people with textured hair. We typically will use like the skater style, but really you'll see them, they'll be ill-fitting, they'll be way up here, they'll be cattywampus, and so it's tough. So but I do wear a helmet almost always. But I will
Oh
say,
yeah.
one of the things you'll hear people, yelling at everyone, oh, you should have helmets. We personally, and I'll speak personally, I won't speak as an organization, but I believe that it's better to be riding your bicycle than saying, I'm never going to ride because I don't have a helmet. You're better off still riding.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say too, there was a transition of, because I'm old, of not wearing a seatbelt and wearing a seatbelt, and I kind of feel like it's the same thing. It's automatic now.
Agree, it is. And it's really interesting too, because like if you look at European countries, nobody wears helmets, right? And they think it's so pro helmet over here, but it's just the difference in infrastructure investment, right? And we're especially like I think about the folks that we give to us up on tribal lands and these rural country roads that don't have bike lanes. That's sharing the road is asking a lot when you're the vulnerable user on a bicycle and you have a 3,000 pound potential death mobile coming up behind you, and someone who just hates cyclists for unknown reasons, right? Because they think we're trying to be an environmentalist, or it's sharing roads, asking a lot, and a helmet's probably not going to save you in those situations. It's tough. So
Well, it's interesting too. I see more, and we're in Minnesota, and we have fairly the same weather. I
yeah,
see more winter riders than ever before.
so true. I do too. It takes a significant investment to buy that gear. And it's really hard on your bike. So you have to really know how to maintain your bike. So there's education and a monetary investment required to do that. So it's not for everyone, but some people have to do it and they don't have those things. And it can be really hard. But I used to be a winter rider, and I mean, you get to where you're going and you're just peeling off the layers as you're dripping sweat. It makes the ride much faster. You're very warm, other than maybe your fingers and your toes. You just can't have any exposed skin. But yeah, you're seeing it more. And, as we see gas prices go up, we're going to see it more. A lot of people are thinking about those bikes. And there was a really cool article about Cuba, when the blockade happened and they were not able to get gasoline or anything. Everybody pulled their bicycles out. So like the bicycles are saving them right now. We're going to see an uptick in bicycling.
Yeah. Well, one of the quickly, we only got a few more minutes here. I just want to touch base with you on here in Minnesota. It's Native American Month here, and also, today is May the 4th be with you, I guess. But tomorrow is Red Dress Day across Turtle Island, and supporting our MMIR people all over Turtle Island, and I know you're real involved in Madison and around the state of Wisconsin with that.
Yes. My sister is an MMIW. And it's so, it just touches so many people, and it's never really, we're not getting anywhere, it seems, and it's, how do we get this heard, and how do we get people to recognize this epidemic? We just got to do what we're all doing, keep talking about it, be out there, educating, making noise, beating that drum. It's very, very important. Yeah. So my sister was murdered at 13. I was 12, and her murderer is living their best life, and never prosecuted. We all knew who did it. She basically confessed, and so really hard, really, really tragic, and hard, like for someone like myself to not just be so angry and bitter and just, like. I had to really come to grips with that in my 20s. I had to just let that go, as hard as it was. Still, I really struggle with that. It comes out there and what's not.
Wow. Healing prayers. Kristie GoForth, Bikes for Kids in Wisconsin. Big Peeny Gigi, thank you for coming on. And Wendy, thank you for the update too. This has been a great show as always. Good to see you. Yeah, show us the bikes. Oh, wow.
Pan here. There's no shortage, guys. There's no shortage of bikes here.
Wow. Check it out.
Right on. Hey, if you listen to the show, you're part of the resistance. We need to resist, divest, join a group, run for office and vote, and release our relatives all over Turtle Island. We'll see you tomorrow.